G'day guys, welcome back. My name is Wildkard. Yeah, I am not feeling so confident anymore after this performance from the British Irish Lions. I was feeling like, hey, maybe the Wallabies could win one game, maybe the whole series after the lackluster performances against the Waratahs and the Brumbies. You know, especially when they kicked the penalty goal, I thought the spirit of the British Irish Lions had broken, right? And then, apparently all you need is have Owen Farrell back in the team and Jack Morgan back in the team, and suddenly the Lions are they're pretty good. I really wish the Wallabies has one extra match this weekend before heading into the opener against the Lions in Brisbane. I really wish they had another game, maybe, even against Japan or something, or like against anybody. This weekend would have been really, really nice for the Wallabies preparation. But yeah, this was a pretty easy, cruisy performance by the Lions, revolving a lot of up and unders down under. Is the strategy, name of the strategy for the Lions, and yeah, it worked. It just worked. The AUNZ team, apparently Australians and New Zealanders are good enough to get together and fight off the Germans in the trenches in France, right? And we're just not good enough to play rugby. Like, apparently we just can't play rugby together. Very clunky. You definitely look like two teams trying to play as one out there. The tempo, the rhythm, some of the handling, there's silly mistakes left and right, and people just not really used to playing with each other at all, and to the extent that it's almost like putting a dog and a cat together and try to get them to work as a team. It's ugly out there tonight for the Anzac side, and yeah, Lions, Farrell returning came out in the second half. Not really impactful as a center, in my opinion. I never thought Farrell was so good of a center. But what was really interesting is that he wasn't given the goal kicks. So maybe Andy Farrell still just want him as a backup goal kicker if things were to go awry after the first test match. So I'll be very surprised if Farrell has been selected in the first test match, even coming off the bench, especially the fact that he didn't do any goal kicking. If he was put on the field and did some goal kicks, then I could see there could be a situation where they have him as a goal kicker, backup goal kicker coming off the bench in the first test. But at this point, still not. I don't think that's going to be a game plan for Andy Farrell. Duhan van der Merwe looked really dominant and physical on the win tonight. 3 tries, I think he got. Just outstanding. And overall, there wasn't too much fanciness from the Lions. Just very basic rugby, very good fundamental rugby. And in fact, I think the in terms of creativity that was on display tonight from the Lions was much more simpler in comparison to what we saw leading into this one in the club games. Obviously, Finn Russell is not on the field, and the Lions just a lot of straight, hard running. Hugh Jones was once again outstanding tonight. Hugh Jones was outstanding tonight, and it's just brutal. It's just I'm looking at hoping that the Wallabies should have another game tonight, even just against the Springboks had an extra game in the last Lions tour where they went play the Bulls. So they had the B team play the Bulls, the Springboks B team play the Bulls, and they lost. And that was what was needed for Rassie Erasmus to get the selections right for the first Lions test. And I just think the Wallabies needed that extra bit of time, extra bit of a game. But yeah, it's a little bit too late now, I think. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I really think that the Wallabies should have a game tonight, and Rassie Erasmus basically forced his way to get that game against the Bulls, and I think the Wallabies should have done something like that as well, and not allow really should have taken more of the fate in their own hands and not allow the organizers and bureaucracy get in the way. Little bit disappointing. So looking pretty tough going into this first game, not gonna lie, based on the performance against Fiji last week from the Wallabies, and it's definitely gonna be better going to a test match because some of the players will be changed up. But the center combination from last week, Suali'i and I think it was Paisami last week, just didn't really tickle my fancy, to be honest, and there's still a lot of clunkiness in the team overall. But it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts. The Anzac team, I was expecting a bit more, to be honest. I thought they might get a little bit more at least score a couple tries. Couldn't even score a single try. Lots of mistakes, lots of big names in the team as well. Some of the players have been playing overseas. Again, not even being in Super Rugby at all, despite being former, Wallabies and All Blacks, just not quite good enough. I thought it's a little bit disappointing as well to not see Israel Folau in this team. Something that I think will keep a lot of fans happy. And maybe obviously Michael Hooper didn't want to play, want to give the opportunity to a newer player. But I thought a game like this should, in my opinion, just be a game where they bring back a lot of the old timers and just have a go and give everybody like a nostalgia send off sort of thing. I think that'll be probably the best way to go about when it comes to this, because obviously the coaches try to put on a team that is competitive and with the intent to winning the game, and it's just really not enough time for the players to really deliver a result that can match the British and Irish Lions. And I think that next time, in my opinion, should just be a team that's like a barbarian side and not just planning to just go and have some fun instead of actually try to win. With that being said, let's have a look at the stats of the game. I've actually said everything I needed to say. Let's have a look at the match stats of the game. 8 tries to 0 for the Lions, 292 run meters for the ANZ team to 540 for the Lions. Similar carry amount, but just not nearly efficient enough when it comes to the attacks, and also defensive wise, not really good enough overall. 31 defenders beaten to the 18 for the Lions. It was one thing though I thought was kind of nostalgic, especially if you're an All Black fan, to see Sir Fozzie as the assistant coach doing a halftime interview, reflecting on how that's just classic Fozzie, right? Before he became the head coach of the All Blacks, he was always the go-to halftime guy for the All Blacks interviews, and it's kind of like good to see him do that today. But yeah, not quite the same. But anyway, 17 turnovers conceded for both teams, 110 tackles made for the ANZ team, 31 missed tackles, 161 tackles made for the Lions, 18 missed tackles, extremely clinical, 24 kicks in play for the ANZ team, and 33 for the Lions. A bunch of missed conversions, despite having Owen Farrell on the field, they did not use him. 705 kick meters for the ANZ team, and 869 for the Lions, kicks for the Lions. And we've got 19 lineouts for ANZ, only 1 loss, 18 for the Lions, 2 loss, a little bit worse there for the Lions. 9 scrums for the ANZ team, 1 scrum loss to the 3 for the Lions, no losses. The Lions scrums definitely getting a little bit better, getting more together. The ANZ team has a pretty good front row setup for them as well. They got Tumunga Allen, and who has the other guy? I think Aiden Ross on the other side, but it's just really not by any sense a weak scrum that was put out there in terms of front rowers. And I think the Lions definitely did well there. 13 penalties conceded, 2 yellow cards against the Anzacs, 6 against the Lions, and no yellow cards at all. Again, the discipline, the yellow cards, there was like 1 tipped clean out, nothing too crazy. I think it was 2 yellow cards. I thought it was 1 yellow card. It was just a tip tackle, right? Where's the second one? But anyway, so yeah, it's not really obviously, it's not really a test team with lots of big names, and a little bit disappointing. And Lions looking pretty good, to be really frank with you. Anyway, let's look at the point summary. 8 tries for the Lions, just absolutely dominant. Both Smiths were doing kicking, so it's not just Finn Smith, but Finn Smith and Marcus Smith doing the kicking. And Owen Farrell didn't take any kicks at all, despite the fact that he was on the field for over 30 minutes. He was put on at 49 minutes on the clock, and he didn't take any of the kicks that was available in the second half. So yeah, it took about 5 minutes for the British and Irish Lions to score. They had a quick line-out, essentially. It was just a quick line-out. Like, they just threw the ball back in field before anybody was ready, and then went in for the try. Van der Merwe went in for the try, 5 points to 0. 10 minutes of the game, there was lots of pressure from Lions around the racks. Ben White looked up, no one around the defending around the appeal and post position. Pick and go, try time for Ben White. Just called into the tour, by the way. He was with the Scottish team down in Fiji before in New Zealand actually last week against the Maori All Blacks before he was called in. 12 points to 0. 20 minutes into the game, again, there was a nice little set play from the Lions. A deep passes behind, what do you call it, backdoor ball out. I think it was to Mac Hansen, and then flat out to the side to Van der Merwe, ran in for the try. 17 points to nil. 24 minutes into the game. Shannon Frizzell, I think Shannon Frizzell had a yellow card at some point. But he was taking. Anyway, there was a 35 minutes in the game. Luke Cow and Dickey got knocked out, so I don't think we'll be seeing him in the first test. Got his head caught on the run side. The Anzac team definitely look a bit better at the end of the first half, but going halftime, scoreboard remained 17 points to nil. So I was a little bit hopeful going halftime. Maybe the Anzac team would come out firing in the second half and getting themselves another step forward from that decent performance in the second half of the first half. But nope, not to be the case. 3 minutes in the second half, there was a penalty, a tap and go, and then just a flat ball, Tuipulotu straight through, 24 points to nil. There was a 49 minutes, Owen Farrell came on and fans were booing him. 61 minutes into the game, there was another quick line out. Again, the ball was thrown to the front to Will Stewart, I think it was, and then he popped it back to who was it? Cummings? Yeah, popped back in, and then to the hooker, ran in for the try. 31 points to nil. 64 minutes of the game, another line out for the Lions. They went for a maul, and then the ball just went out. Good hands all the way out wide. There was overlap somehow for Van der Merwe, who ran in for the try. 36 points to nil. At this point, the breakdown is starting to look pretty bad for the Anzac team. Everything was just not quite up to scratch at this point. Owen Farrell was just really not doing much, but just making everything look quite easy regardless. Frizzell got a yellow card for a tip tackle. And Shannon Frizzell, after being in Japan for a while, I just don't think he's ever going to have an opportunity at the All Blacks again. He's talked about potentially returning to New Zealand before the Rugby World Cup. I just don't think at the current performances that we saw, here and with the Barbarians, I just don't think that either of these performances will yield him a spot in the All Blacks team at all, considering the talents that are coming through. 68 minutes in the game, there was another quick line out. Was it? Oh, sorry. And anyway, this is a quick line out where they popped the ball back in front. I don't even know. And Keller went through, 41 points to nil. And then there was a who knows? That's pretty much it. There was 75 minutes in the game. There was a little kick behind by Owen Farrell, and the ball almost went out for, I think it might have been 50-22, just in front of the 5-meter line. I think it was Edmund slapped the ball back in field to McClellan and Phillip, and he didn't expect this and tried to jump on the ball in goal area, and then Pallock got there first, ground the ball for a freebie. Final score, 48 points to nil to the British Irish Lions. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I really think that the Wallabies, can they still organize a game for a Sunday run out or not? But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching this. Like and comment, subscribe, and see you guys next week for the news. Have a good one. Cheers.